Hi, it's Ann from the Lowdown on Cancer. And since I've joined the Cancer Fund, I've learned so much on this journey. I had always heard that it was all about investing in cancer research. But after joining the Cancer Fund team and then getting to talk with so many innovators of new cancer technologies, I've learned that even though research is so important, most institutional research facilities have no interest or intent on capitalizing on that research. So it's left to innovators to pick up that ball and run with it, or the research languishes in the lab. Now, we know the innovators look at that research out there. They decide to create something with it, which can be a diagnostic or a therapy or a prevention. But then what? So today I get to talk with someone who's going to explain the process of how somebody comes to the Cancer Fund, how the Cancer Fund discovers more about that innovation, how they talk to them about what funds they need and what they're going to do with those funds. So today we're going to be hearing from somebody very special to the Cancer Fund who's going to tell us all this stuff. So first off, thank you for sitting with us today. And if you would, briefly introduce yourself and tell us what it is you do at the Cancer Fund.
Thank you, Ann. And it's a pleasure to be here. I'm Jon Mengel. I'm part of the core team here at Cancer Fund. And everything you said resonates with me, especially my friends who do cancer research. They excel at the exact same thing. And they said, I really want to see this go somewhere. So I think what we're doing here is great. In terms of what I do at the Cancer Fund, I do a little bit of everything, but I think where my focus is between how do we take portfolio companies or potential companies and turn them into something that we can help give them their support that they need, right? Between the funding them, giving them consulting services, advice, things like that. I mean, I think, how we bring those companies into our pipeline is kind of where my focus is today.
So let's start with the first question, which to me seems kind of obvious. What kind of companies does the Cancer Fund look at? And, how do they get on the Cancer Fund's radar?
Yeah, great question. So in terms of companies that, we look at here at the Cancer Fund, of course, they need to touch cancer, but for us, there's a couple of different buckets, right? Between, diagnostics and monitoring, therapies, and then preventions and enabling technologies. And really the way that, we structure what we're looking at is really trying to identify companies that have true impacts to our communities and our patients and clinicians, and things that we see as, making a huge impact into the community. And so, what we look for, and for companies to get into our pipeline, it's fairly simple. We love to hear our community bring companies into our pipeline. They can go onto our website and fill out a profile. It's simple as that. And we have folks that are out there scouring and looking, but we really want to hear from you to the community and see what companies they see that will really help this space. So.
And how many innovations are in the Cancer Fund pipeline right now?
Yeah, so right now we have about 137 companies that we're in process of reviewing. We have 7 companies that are either have been screened and you've done interviews with some of those innovators or about to do some interviews with them. We have 1 that we're evaluating, right now that we feel is promising. And then we've had a couple that we've considered for investment, including one that we did invest in Regulogene back in January.
Well, it's surprising to me that there's so many innovations out there specifically related to cancer. I had no idea. So once a promising innovation has been identified, what happens behind the scenes at the Cancer Fund? So what does that process look like?
Yeah, so once companies have been brought into our pipeline, we've got their profiles, on file. We have a great team of venture partners, a few that, just started and have been announced with different profiles. And so typically we have them assigned to review each company. And what they'll do is they'll reach out to the company, kind of learn a little bit about what their goals are, kind of what's their impact, what are they achieving, and what are they looking to do. And we'll bring that back to the core team in what we call screening and really assess, the impact to the community. And once we see that, they kind of fit our focus area, whether it's breast cancer or something like that, and we see that they truly are working towards an impact, we'll pass them on from the screening committee over to, yourself here at the Lowdown and start, having a real good dialogue for you to be able to share with our community, some of the companies that, we're really interested in learning more and getting feedback on. And so once we get feedback from the community and taking a lot of the inputs that, all of you that are watching today have for them, we'll make a decision on if it's a company we want to deep dive on and go bring them into the evaluation committee where we'll, really look at their financials, their business model, and really see how Cancer Fund can truly make a good impact for them and help them, as you mentioned, commercialize their ideas to something that our patients and clinicians can use. And so finally, once we have that evaluation complete, we might see they're a good fit. We'll recommend them to be an investment, and then, we'll make an investment. So it's a nice, robust process, but we really want to get the best ideas through the pipeline so that we can get feedback from everybody, including, the audience here today.
I think before I was a part of the Cancer Fund, I thought it was, you just write a check. So this is very interesting. Why is Cancer Fund a place that innovators turn to for those funds? Yeah,
I think from the conversations I've had with companies themselves, I think that they really find Cancer Fund, somewhere special compared to other funds because they see us as people that actually care about, what they're doing and how it's going to impact the different people that they're targeting, right? I know I've had hour-long conversations just about, a breast cancer company that really wants to make it easier for people to get tested and not have to pay thousands of dollars to do it, right? And I think they feel really passionate about the impact, and we do as well. And so they really like that, we're here as partners and not so much as just people to give them a couple bucks.
Why does the Cancer Fund ask the community to be involved in the decision-making process?
That's a great question. I think, from some of the values that we have here at Cancer Fund around making sure that it's impact-based and not so much about, just returns, I think what we want to hear from the community is we want to see, is this something that you could see yourself if you're going through it, or your family member or your friend? Is this something that resonates with you? Because if it resonates with you, it resonates with another 500,000 people, 1 million people. And that's ultimately the goal of Cancer Fund, is to find companies that can resonate with the broader community and not so much the checkbook. And so our goal is to hear from you guys, what things are important for you so that we know what's important for, the cancer world and how we can better it together.
Once an investment is chosen, is Cancer Fund done? Do they just write a check and walk away?
Absolutely not. Company to company, everyone has different needs. And what we really want to make sure of is the success of those companies. And so we'll take the time, the effort, whatever it is, whether they need to find more people to give them funding, we'll find partners. If they need, some new business thinking because they're more focused on the science, we'll help them there. If they just need to be connected with people in the industry, we'll help them there. I mean, ultimately, our goal is for their success. And so we spend, a countless amount of time to help them in areas that they need it most.
So just to kind of recap, innovations come to the Cancer Fund. They get fully vetted by a team. The information gets shared on, with the Lowdown community where I ask for their feedback. A decision is made based upon those findings and the feedback, whether to invest or not. And if the Cancer Fund does invest, they stay involved by making sure that the company actually has what they need to actually move forward. And that may be something like helping them find personnel and things like that. How does this process differ from other venture firms?
Yeah, so you hit the process on the head. So exactly correct. And how I think it differs from other venture funds, and the feedback I've gotten from companies that are talking to other funds, is a lot of other funds really just do a financial due diligence to understand what return they're getting and what's the exit. And what we do is we really assess and focus primarily on impact and the community. And I appreciate that the most because everyone has a perspective that's important, and we're all able to learn together and find things that truly maybe are diamonds in the rough that no one really knew about, and we're able to do that together and collaboratively. That I think gives us a huge advantage in finding companies that can make a difference day to day.
Is there any last thing that you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, so the only thing I would leave the audience with is, please continue to give us feedback because we really do value it. I mean, there are countless companies out there that, we could be evaluating. You guys may know companies, tell them to come talk to us and please give us your feedback and thoughts on them so that we can continue to learn and grow and see how these are impacting you, because we want to make sure that the success of Cancer Fund is also the success of you.
So John, thank you so much for sitting with us today. Thank you for letting us know what the process is, because I think a lot of us have heard, invest in research, but that isn't the beginning and the end. It's actually just the beginning. The end is actually getting those innovations capitalized. So thank you so much for sharing that today. And we just love that you've been here.
Well, thank you for having me, Ann. I'm really excited for where we're going.
Thank you for watching the Lowdown on Cancer presented by the Cancer Fund. To learn more about what's coming in future episodes, visit us at www.cancerfund.com. While you're there, check out past episodes and be sure to click Join Us to become a member of the Cancer Fund community. As a member of the community, you'll receive early access to new interviews as well as other announcements. Make sure to connect to all of our social media channels so you don't miss a thing. In addition to getting early access to new episodes of the Lowdown on Cancer, Cancer Fund members play a critical role in driving cancer innovation forward so that one day we can more than hope. We can actually beat cancer. Thank you for joining us on this journey.